और रोहन सुनना, वहां पर किरण नायर करके एक लड़का होगा तेरे बेस पे, तो मेरे को उससे बात करवा दियो एक बार, ठीक है? Okay. So we discussed the four properties of light. Yesterday we discussed the four properties of light. We understood what is reflection, reflection क्या होती है, refraction क्या होती है. Then we also understood कि what is diffraction. Diffraction is the bending of light around an obstacle. ये भी हम लोगों ने किया है, right? And after that we studied what is the speed of light. Can the speed of light change? Yes, the speed of light can change based on the density of the medium that you are in. Okay. Today's topic will be about simplicity of waves. We are going to be discussing about general wave terminologies. We are going to be discussing about general wave terminologies. Let's have a look. You all have done this before also. You all have done this before. This will just be, a brief overview about what you already know. So, if you find this boring, believe me, you're gonna have a new way to look at it. Okay, let's start. Let's come to general terminologies. Believe me, you will be needing these terminologies a lot later in the future. Let's come to this. General terms. Okay, that is the topic for today. And general terms regarding what? General terms regarding radio waves in general. Okay, radio waves in general. Just be. So, what are these general terms? Let's have a look. How did you and Anushka join? Anushka, Khushi, how did you both manage to join today?
Having leave today. Tomorrow in my exam.
आवाज
There's
नहीं आई.
one day leave at exam before. So today is our preparation leave actually. Tomorrow we will have our paper. That's right.
कल पेपर है.
हाँ कल पेपर है सर. आज तो PL है सर, preparation leave आज.
मुझे बढ़िया. ये होती है डिटर्मिनेशन. कल पेपर है, आज क्लास अटेंड कर रही है. हर्ष, वीडियोस ऑन. Okay, so let's say I have a wave. This is a axis, right? Let's draw a wave. We all know this thing by the name of a sine curve. We all know this thing by the name of a sine curve. What is a sine curve? Basically something that starts from the origin. Sine curve is something that starts from the origin, goes to a positive amplitude, it goes to a positive amplitude, it's positive maxima. This is the maximum displacement. This is the maximum displacement. One second, I'll just redo this a little bit. Okay, something which goes to its positive maxima, and then it again comes back to its mean position, then again goes back to its negative maxima, and then again goes back to its mean position, then again goes back to its positive maxima. So one cycle of going to the positive maxima, coming back, and then again going to the negative maxima, and then again coming back. ये this is called one cycle of a wave. ठीक है, one cycle of a wave. मैंने बोला था ना alternating current has. Ankit, confirm video recording is on. Great. So पॉजिटिव एंड नेगेटिव, ये क्या है? एक साइकिल है. दिस इज वन सच साइकिल. ओके, एंड इसी साइकिल से सारी चीजें डिफाइन होंगी आज के टाइम में. इसी साइकिल से सारी चीजें डिफाइन होंगी आज के टाइम में. दिस इज वन सच साइकिल. वन सच साइकिल इज अ disturbance. It is a disturbance. Now एक साइकिल में ये डिस्टर्बेंस कितने आगे गई? In one such disturbance, in one such cycle, this disturbance traveled a certain distance. This disturbance traveled a certain distance. It is this distance, correct? And we call this distance as lambda, or the wavelength. So this can be said of, this one cycle can be said of as one single wave, which is traveling, and the length of this wave is called the wavelength, denoted by the symbol lambda. Okay, Farad, what is your height?
5'7".
Okay, who's the shortest here? Anushka, Khushi, what is your height?
So 5'3", so 5'4", 5'5".
5'4". Okay, cool. Harsh, how tall are you?
5'11".
He is 5'11". Okay. So if Harsh is supposed to run 1 kilometer in 2 legs. Okay, I'm gonna run slowly, 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 slowly. So every step that I take is gonna be short, correct? So can I say that Anushka has a short wavelength, Harsh has a high wavelength? Yes. I'm talking about in one such cycle, in one such step, how far do I go? Works? Works. Very easy, right? Now, let us talk about time period. Okay, the time, we spoke about distance, now let's speak about time. How much time does it take to cover one cycle? Okay, so Harsh has big legs, big step, so he'll take a big amount of time. His time period is more. Anushka, on the other hand, she'll have to, go very quick, 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 quick. So her time period will be less, her frequency shall be more. Time period and frequency are inversely proportional to each other. If a cycle is happening slowly, so it is taking more time to complete the cycle. Its time period is more. And frequency is basically how fast is it happening. 1 second mein, how many cycles are you doing? That is frequency. If you're doing more number of cycles in 1 second, the frequency is higher. By default. कोई भी चीज अगर आप जल्दी 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 करोगे, you are doing something fast, 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 you're taking less time, but you're doing it more number of times. So the time period goes less, frequency goes up. Ulta hai. It is opposite. If you're doing something very, very slow, you're taking a lot of time to do it, but you're doing it less number of times. So whenever the time period is more, the frequency is less. Both of them are opposite to each other. Okay? Sriram, understood? No doubts? Anyone, any doubts? Okay, good. So we spoke about wavelength. I want everyone to make a note and write down what is wavelength. Wavelength is the distance traveled by one wave. Physical distance traveled by one wave or one cycle. Harsh, even if you're at your friend's house, I want you to make notes. Okay? Wait. What is a wavelength? The physical distance traveled by one cycle of a wave. The physical distance traveled by one cycle of a wave. Okay, it can also be said to be the distance between two waves and two crests, two troughs and two crests. Crests मतलब peaks. Okay, अब देख ये इतना डिस्टेंस है, ये इतना डिस्टेंस है, दो क्रेस्ट के बीच में भी उतना ही डिस्टेंस है, दो ट्रफ के बीच में भी उतना ही डिस्टेंस है तुम्हारा, राइट? So it is the distance between any two parts एनी सेम पार्ट्स ऑफ द वेव, ठीक है। अगर मैं ट्रफ और ट्रफ के बीच का, क्रेस्ट और क्रेस्ट के बीच का डिस्टेंस लूँ, ये वेवलेंथ हो गया। अगर मैं ट्रफ और ट्रफ के बीच का डिस्टेंस लूँ, ये भी वेवलेंथ हो गया, है ना। ये ओरिजिन और ओरिजिन के बीच का डिस्टेंस लिया मैंने इनिशियली, वो भी वेवलेंथ, इट्स द सेम थिंग, ठीक है। एक साइकिल पूरा कंप्लीट किया मैंने, कितना डिस्टेंस लगा? साइकिल तो कहीं से भी शुरू हो सकता है, साइकिल तो कहीं से भी हो सकता है ना। साइकिल तो कहीं से भी शुरू हो सकता है, इट कैन स्टार्ट फ्रॉम हियर टू हियर ऑल्सो, it can start from here to here also. So look at this is one wavelength, this is also one wavelength, same thing, right? So now you know what wavelength is. I don't have to teach you any more about wavelength, okay? The distance traveled by the wave. Now similarly, talking about time period and frequency, I'm going to teach this to you together, time period and frequency. Simple definition of frequency. So you know, when we study all of these simple things, हम लोगों को लगता है कि यार okay, it's too damn simple. I just gave my ATPL or Viva. They asked me what is frequency, and they asked all of them what is frequency. Simply define frequency. Shri Ram.
The number of cycles of waves that pass a particular point.
Okay. Akash.
Number of cycles in specific period of time.
Very good. What is that in unit time?
Unit.
Unit time. Okay. ये पूछ लिया हम लोगों ने। अब कमांडर वामांडर लोग हैं भाई, वो सोचते हैं यार ये क्या ही पूछेगा मेरे से, राइट? बट देन दे वर अनेबल टू आंसर. They were unable to answer. Why? Because these are small things and you tend to forget these. These are basics, right? But there will be many a number of times that you will be asked this in your exams even in the future. So just pay attention here, not for now, but for future's sake. You don't just want to be a first officer sitting and chilling in an airline. You want to be a commander one day, right? So there is a saying that when you're a trainee pilot, you're just not a trainee pilot. You're a pilot in training. You're not a student pilot. You're a pilot in training. When you're a first officer, you're not a first officer. You're a commander in training. When you are a captain or a commander, you're not just a commander. You're a line training captain in training. When you're an LTC, you're just not an LTC. You are a type rating instructor in training. There's always more to it. Okay? Even when you are a TRI, you are an examiner in training. So we always have to keep on learning in this field. Time period क्या होता है? Time for one cycle. One cycle. And frequency क्या होता है? Number of cycles in a second. Number of cycles in a second. And these both are inversely proportional to each other. Time period is inversely proportional to frequency, and I have explained this concept to you. If something takes a lot of time to happen, the cycles will happen less frequently. Frequency has to do with how frequently. Frequently. If something is taking too long to happen, it will happen less frequently, less number of times. Okay. Now, how is this related to the speed of light? How is this related to the speed of light? Okay, now let's say Harsh is a 5'11" guy, Anushka is a 5'4" girl. Okay, now Harsh has to race Anushka and go over here. Anushka also has to race Harsh and goes over here. The fun part about Anushka and Harsh is that they both have the same speed. What does this mean? कि जितनी देर में हर्ष यहाँ से यहाँ जाएगा उतनी देर में अनुष्का भी Harsh is tall. How can it happen? How can they both have the same speed? How can they both have the same speed? See, the answer is very simple. Einstein बाबा ने बोला तो बोला. If light speed is constant throughout the universe, it is constant throughout the universe. We cannot change it. But we can always describe it. So Harsh takes big steps. So the length of one cycle is more, right? But because both their speed are the same, he has to take less number of steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right? जहां मेरी वेवलेंथ ज्यादा है, मेरी फ्रीक्वेंसी कम है. जहां मेरी वेवलेंथ ज्यादा है, वहां मेरी फ्रीक्वेंसी कम है. What about Anushka? Anushka does not say, wait for me, I have little legs. Even though I'm towards the shorter side, what will I do? I will do tick 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 tick. I'll go very fast, 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 fast. Harsh is gonna reach here in 10 seconds. Anushka is also gonna reach here in 10 seconds. Okay. Anushka's every single step is gonna be very, 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 very small. But Anushka's frequency is very high. She can move her legs very fast. Okay? Wavelength decreased, but frequency increased. I have to travel the same distance in the same time, right? So in the same time frame, Anushka has to take more number of steps, more number of cycles, right? So tell me something. If I multiply the how can I get this distance? How can I get this distance? If I multiply this length, one cycle ka length, and I multiply it with the number of times I do it in a second, can I get speed? है ना? अगर अनुष्का एक स्टेप में 1 मीटर कवर करती है और 1 सेकंड में वो ऐसे 100 स्टेप मार सकती है, तो उसकी स्पीड कितनी हुई? उसने 100 मीटर कवर किया. उसने 100 मीटर कवर किया. Shriram, for you in English. That's why I have the videos on. Let's say if Anushka is running and she's running with small steps. Okay, she covers 1 meter in one step, but she does it very, very fast. In 1 second she takes 100 steps. Can I say that she covered 100 meters by multiplying the frequency and the wavelength? Can I get a speed? I can get a speed. Okay, I can get a speed. That is how the formula for speed of light actually came into being. C is equal to F multiplied by lambda. C is equal to F lambda. Everyone is aware of this formula? Everyone is aware of this formula. C is equal to F lambda. So, संसार का नियम है that this speed is constant. So if this speed is constant, we have to alter between these two, Harsh. Okay. Whenever my frequency goes down, my wavelength increases. And whenever my frequency goes up, my wavelength decreases. Okay. So high frequency wave, a very energetic wave, a very high frequency wave will always have a very small wavelength. And a low frequency Dila Dala wave will have a very big wavelength. Good? Any doubts so far? Great. Now, let's talk about amplitude. What is amplitude? The fourth word that we are going to learn today is amplitude. Amplitude is the maximum displacement. Amplitude is maximum displacement. Let's say I take a ball, I tie it as a string, and I spank it. Goes left, goes right, goes left, goes right. This is the mean position, right? This is the average position. इसका और इसका average बीच का हुआ, right? From the main position, how far on the extremity it has gone. This distance is called the amplitude. This distance is called the amplitude. Okay. Many people say, sir, over here, the amplitude is less. Here, the amplitude is more. No, amplitude is fixed. Amplitude is always the maximum value. All of this is basically distance displacement, temporary displacement. Amplitude is how far you go, maximum. Okay, so this is the amplitude. So is amplitude a very important thing? Yes, amplitude is a very important thing. Okay, amplitude is what? Maximum displacement from mean position. So if you see something is going up, something is going down. So what is the mean position? The axis is the mean position. The axis is the mean position. And it is going to its positive extremity and going to its negative extremity and again going to its positive extremity and so on and so forth, right? This is about amplitude. Now my question is, now you know about amplitude, you know about frequency. How does this have to do with what radio waves that I have to do? Always remember, guys, that amplitude has to do with strength. Amplitude has to do with strength or loudness. And frequency has to do with pitch. Any person who sings here? Who sings? Who does it? So what is pitch, Harsh? Explain me high pitch and low pitch, please. Everyone, with the help of an example.
एग्जाम्पल बॉयज का जो आवाज होता है वो लो पिच आवाज होता है और गर्ल्स का जो आवाज होता है वो हाई पिच आवाज होता है.
If I'm speaking to you like this, is it a high pitch? This is a high pitch voice, a shrill voice. अनुष्का चिल्ला के बता एकदम. खुशी चिल्ला के बताओ. Something, even if you make a whistle ना, जब कोई सीटी बजाता है और whenever you're just going around walking downstairs, you're whistling, that's a very, very high pitched sound. But this is a low pitched sound. Okay, this is towards the lower pitch side. I can speak to you in a very, very high and shrilly voice, but I can also speak to you in a very, very low and bassy voice. This is a low pitch voice. Okay. So what am I doing? I'm changing the frequency of the voice of the air that is coming out of my mouth. Okay. My vocal cords का टेंशन चेंज हो रहा है, जो मेरे हवा जो रिवर्ब कर रही है, वाइब्रेट कर रही है, उसकी फ्रीक्वेंसी चेंज कर रही है. If I'm speaking to you like this, my vocal cords are in a way that they are vibrating the air at a very low frequency. But if I'm speaking to you in a very, very shrill voice, they are vibrating the air particles at a very, very high frequency, which gives me a shrill voice. Now, what has to do with amplitude? I can also speak to you like this, but I can also speak to you like this. What happened? The loudness changed. If I'm speaking to you, if I place a hand in front of my mouth and I talk to myself very softly, I will hear very, very small pressure ka thap, 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 thap. But if I shout and speak out, I will hear a very, very loud or, feel a very, very hard pressure towards the harder pressure side. Try it out for your own self if you want. Okay. What does this mean? This means that when I'm talking loudly, what am I doing? I'm just increasing the amplitude of the disturbance. If you do swimming, you are creating waves. But what is a tsunami? It is the same wave, but with nice high amplitude. They both are the same thing. But the difference is in the amplitude. Okay. So now the question is, if I have a speed and if I have a frequency and I have a wavelength, इन दोनों का multiplication will always come out to be a constant value, right? Because this thing is constant. And for this thing to be constant, these both have to interchange in a very, very nice fashion. If one of them is increasing, then another has to decrease. Why? Because this guy has to be kept constant, right? I have told you this. अब yes,
सर ये एफ मतलब फ्रीक्वेंसी, लैम्बडा मतलब वेवलेंथ, तो सी का मतलब क्या है इसमें?
c is speed of light.
ओके,
ठीक है, c is स्पीड ऑफ लाइट. आप ये कल के दिन नहीं थे तो हम लोगों ने ये चीज किया था. कल शॉर्ट फॉर्म में हम लोगों ने दिखा था दैट स्पीड ऑफ लाइट का शॉर्ट फॉर्म इज c. ओके ओके, ऐड कर दो अगर नहीं है नोट्स में. c is the symbol for speed of light. This is normal physics, normal class 10 physics. ठीक है, तो रोहन भाई आपने कुछ ज्यादा मिस नहीं किया. हम लोगों ने बस फ्रीक्वेंसी और वेवलेंथ पढ़ी है, ये सीखा है. ठीक है,
ओके, या फ्लाइंग
कोई नहीं. वीडियो ऑन कर लो भाई. यस श्रीराम.
Is there any relation between frequency and amplitude?
No, there is no relation between frequency and amplitude. Okay, I can have a low frequency and a low amplitude, which is hello, how do you read? I can have a low frequency and a high amplitude. Hello, how do you read? I can have a high frequency and low amplitude. I can have a high frequency and a high amplitude. Right? Loudness has to do with the amplitude. Pitch has to do with frequency. Okay? They both are independent things. Amplitude gets affected by the deflection from mean position. And frequency depends on how fast you do something. If a radio wave has high frequency, does not necessarily mean that it has high amplitude. Okay? If a radio wave has more frequency, does not mean that it is a very, very strong wave. It can be a weak wave as well. Okay? So how does a weak amplitude look like? He has asked us a very nice question. एक weak amplitude कैसा दिखता है? एक कम amplitude कैसा दिखता है? अच्छा आकाश, आपका क्वेश्चन आंसर हो गया, कोई दिक्कत नहीं. तो a very high amplitude wave will look like this, and a low amplitude wave will look like this. Now tell me something. If I am sending, what happened? Tell me something. If I have an antenna and this wave is, if this wave is coming and hitting the antenna, do you think it will induce a very, very good signal? If this high amplitude wave, blue वाली जो wave है रोहन, ये आएगी amplitude, इसकी amplitude ज़्यादा है blue वाले की, ये एंटीना में आई और चिपक गई, उसके अंदर करंट और वोल्टेज इंड्यूस कर रही है और अंदर जा रही है. Do you think it will induce a very, very good voltage? I think so. Do you guys also think so? Yes. It will ढामे ऊपर नीचे extremities. But what about this? What if this goes? Do you think it will induce a very good voltage? No, because it is not as positive, not as negative, not as positive, not as negative. That is why strength of a radio wave is important. For those who know how our electric guitars played, अनुष्का, संगीत सर ने कभी दिखाया इलेक्ट्रिक गिटार? अच्छा, यू नॉट दैट क्लोज टू हिम?
No, sir.
So if you have any event anywhere in school, Akash, you are into music, no? No. So if you have an electric guitar, you cannot hear it. You cannot hear it. Like a normal guitar, it has a chamber, it has a sound chamber. When you strum the guitar, the air inside the sound chamber vibrates at a frequency which is giving you that dhum dhum wala sound. But this is not so in the case of electric guitars. When you strum an electric guitar, there are magnetic pick-off coils. Okay, those magnets and sensors, they pick off the strum ka frequency and they induce a voltage. But that is a very small voltage. Now you have to send it to something through an amplifier, through something known as an amplifier. What is an amplifier? Amplify, amplitude, amplitude ko badhana is amplify. So what is it doing? When you strum an electric guitar, it is a very weak signal. You are amplifying the signal, making it more loud and more loud and more loud, and then you are sending it to the speaker. Understood? Understood, Shriram? Very good. So amplitude has to do with loudness and not to do with frequency. Okay? Works. Now, you know one thing. 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meters per second. What is frequency measured in, guys? Guys, frequency is measured in hertz or per second. Number of cycles once in 1 second. So it is measured in a unit called per second or hertz. And wavelength is measured in the unit called meters. So something in meters and multiplied by something per second will give you meters per second, right? So we have it over here. अब एग्जाम में क्वेश्चंस कैसे आएंगे? एग्जाम में क्वेश्चंस आएंगे, you will be given, okay, you have one frequency, you have the frequency of 50 kilohertz, find out the wavelength. You will have a frequency called 300 megahertz, find out the wavelength. You have the frequency of 9000, correction, 9 gigahertz, find out the wavelength. Take your calculators, guys. You have your phone also. You have this formula, you have this phone. I want you guys to find out the wavelength. Okay, there's going to be some cleaning happening. I'm gonna be here. You have 2 minutes, find out the answers. Okay, the answer has to be, for this you have to give me the answer in kilometer, for this you have to give me the answer in meter, and for this you have to give me the answer in centimeter. Okay, so you have 2 minutes. और भाई बताओ, हुआ पहला आंसर? खुशी? Videos on everyone. First answer.
Six 6,000 kilometers.
6,000 kilometers.
Like I just
1 second. Khushi, give me the answer.
So 6 into 10 to the power 8.
6 into 10 to the power of 8 what?
Kilometer.
Wrong answer. Rohan, videos on. Akash, give me the answer.
6 kilometers.
Good. Harsh, what answer did you get?
Sixteen to 10 to the power 8 meter per second.
श्रीराम, आपको तो वेवलेंथ फाइंड आउट करनी थी ना हर्ष, आप मीटर पर सेकंड कैसे बोल रहे हो? मीटर पर सेकंड स्पीड होती है। श्रीराम,
I just cross multiplied and I got 6 followed by 6 zeros.
you cross multiplied?
Like I just brought the 50 kilohertz down. I'm not having my scientific calc. I'm just using the laptop calc.
Kilo means what?
1,000. Yeah.
Did you cater for that 1,000?
So 3 into 10 power 5, right? On the left side.
Find it. Do it mathematics. Do it with by hand. Fuck the calculator. I'm not even going to use a calculator only. I'm gonna do hand calculations. Ridhusmita, what answer did you get?
For the first one, 6 kilometers.
6 kilometers. Okay. Ankit? हाँ? ठीक है। फराद?
6.
कैसे?
50 divided by 3 divided by 10 to the power 5.
50 divided by 3.
Like I brought it this side, na.
50 by 3 or 3 by 50?
Oh, sorry. I made a mistake.
बिना किए कैसे आंसर आया?
3 into 10 to the power 8. Like I used the calculator first. Wait. 3 into 10 to the power 8 divided by 50. Yep. 6
6 what?
into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 10 to the power 6.
हाँ, 6 into 10 to the power of 6. How did it come 6 kilometer? How did you answer 6 kilometer?
Array.
Ankit, how did you do it? फाइव को? अच्छा, ठीक है, गुड गुड। So everyone, see how it is done. Simple maths, okay? सब लोगों को मैथ्स आता है ना? C is equals to F lambda. अब मेरे पास ये चीज है और मेरे पास ये चीज है, मेरे को ये चीज चाहिए, तो इसको मैं सब्जेक्ट बनाऊंगा। इसको सब्जेक्ट में कैसे बनाऊंगा? I will take this F and I will make it come down. C by F is equals to lambda. Everyone knows this. Now I have to calculate this C by F. What is C? 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meters per second. Now I can only do calculation if they both are in the same unit. काटाकुटी तब मैं तभी कर सकता हूँ. I can do cutting and all only if they both are in the same units. Okay, Shriram. Okay, Anushka. Divided by 50. Now you would have done divided by 50. No, it is not 50. It is 50 kilohertz. Kilo means into 1000 into 10 to the power of 3. Per second. What is hertz? Per second, right? Calculate this. It will come out to be 10, 10 to the power of 5. Now you take this 0, you cut it, and you'll get 10 to the power of 4. So now you have 30 into 10 to the power of 3 divided by 5. This cut 6 into 10 to the power of 3 meters. सब लोगों को ये मैथ समझ आया? Anyone who did not get this maths? Anyone? Please don't hesitate to ask me. I will teach you basic maths also if you want it. Anyone who did not get it, tell me. Mridusmita, Harsh, were you guys able to understand this math?
Yes.
So 6 into 10 to the power of 3 meters is what? 6 kilometers. Right? So now you know how to do calculation. Did I use the calculator? No. Come on, tell me next answer. Mega. So everyone remember, huh? Kilo is 10 to the power of 3. Mega is 10 to the power of 6. Giga is 10 to the power of 9. Okay? It is like your mobile phone. Kilobyte means 1000 bytes. What is 1 megabyte? More, 1000 kilobytes. So 10 to the power of 6. Kilo ka 3 and then more 1000 kilobytes, na? So 10 ki power of 6. Okay? And then giga is what? 10 की power of 9. रोहन, किलो क्या है? 10 की पावर 3 है. मेगा इज 10 की पावर 6 एंड गीगा इज 10 की पावर 9. ठीक है रोहन? Everyone do the other two sums. I will teach this to Rohan. So Rohan, how did we find out the answer? You had 3 into 10 to the power of 8 is equal to 50 kilohertz multiplied by lambda. ये था आपके पास रोहन. तो अब मेरे को ये फाइंड आउट करना, तो मेरे को इसको नीचे डालना पड़ेगा. मेरे पास कैलकुलेटर नहीं है तब भी हो जाएगा. 3 into 10 to the power of 8 है और यहाँ पे क्या है 50. अब ये 50 क्या है? किलो हर्ट्ज है. 50 क्या है? किलो हर्ट्ज है. तो इसको 10 की पावर ऑफ 3 करो. नीचे कितने जीरो हुए? नीचे हमारे पास 4 जीरो हैं डिनोमिनेटर में. इसके 3 और इसका 1, 4 जीरो गए और यहाँ से 4 गया तो 10 की पावर ऑफ 4. सो हमारे पास क्या आया? 3 into 10 की पावर ऑफ 4 डिवाइडेड बाय 5. इसको मैं ऐसे भी तो लिख सकता हूँ, है ना? काटो. आया 6000. 6000 क्या? 6000 मीटर हो गया. क्या होता है? 6 किलोमीटर होता है. ठीक है, ऐसे करना है. अब ऐसे ही बाकी के 2 सम्स करना. गिव मी द आंसर फॉर द सेकंड वन गाइस. हर्ष, गिव मी द आंसर.
$10 meters.
सॉरी,
10 meters.
कुछ कैलकुलेशन मिस्टेक है. देखो जीरोस में कैलकुलेशन मिस्टेक है. यू आर वेरी क्लोज. नंबर ऑफ जीरोस में कैलकुलेशन मिस्टेक है.
3 into 10 to the power 8 divided by 310 to the power 6 ना.
300 into 10 की पावर ऑफ 6.
हाँ.
तो नीचे कितने जीरो हुए?
9 0.
9 जीरोस कैसे हुए? 300 में कितने जीरो है?
सॉरी 880
ऊपर कितने जीरो हैं? समझा? गलती समझा? कैलकुलेट कर, मेरे को राइट आंसर बता फटाफट, ठीक है? आकाश, आंसर। आकाश, अंकित आंसर नहीं। श्रीराम,
Which one? Second or third?
सेकंड।
1
8
minute.
आएगा ये 1 मिनट
सॉरी, श्रीराम आंसर सेकंड।
1 meter.
खुशी अनुष्का आंसर सेकंड।
So 1 meter.
हर्ष आंसर सेकंड। Mridusmita, did you get 1 meter?
Yes.
How did you get it?
3 into 10 to the power 8 divided by 300 into 10 to the power 6.
Good. You're again speaking with your mouth closed. We will fix that. We'll fix that. Don't worry. Farad, Akash,
Second one, right? 1 meter.
Akash,
I got 1000 meters.
1000 meter. How? What did you do?
फिर से कैलकुलेशन करके देखता हूँ मैं, एक सेकंड।
रोहन, कितना है आंसर मिल रहा है?
वन मीटर, सॉरी, मैंने उसको गीगाबाइट पकड़ लिया था, मेगाबाइट को।
मेगाबाइट, गीगाबाइट, मीटर नहीं
हाँ, किलो के ऊपर रख दिया था मैंने उसको।
हर्ट्ज, हर्ट्ज।
हाँ सॉरी, हर्ट्स को, मेगा हर्ट्स को।
Did you just wake up
ओ,
before class, huh?
एक सेकंड। हाँ, मेरा नेक्स्ट वाला भी गलत है फिर थोड़ा।
रोहन, कितना है सेकंड वाले का?
वही सॉरी, मैं निकाल नहीं पा रहा, ये लोग फिर से मुझे बुला ले रहे हैं।
अभी कहाँ पर है? अभी तो कर रहे हैं या बुला
भाई
रहे हैं?
भाई 3 बार बुला चुके हैं रोहन नाम के बच्चे को, और वो मैं नहीं हूँ, और नाम मेरा लेते हैं।
चल ठीक है, इसको फाइंड आउट कर, ठीक है, फॉर सेकंड और थर्ड वाला। नहीं तो क्लास रिकॉर्ड हो रही है, यू विल बी एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड इट। हम आपको रिकॉर्डिंग भेज देंगे, ठीक है? निकालो, अभी कोशिश तो कर भाई, ये बहाने वहाने से कुछ नहीं होता। फाइंड इट आउट।
समझो।
बुला रहे, ठीक है, 1 मिनट का समय। एग्जाम में 15 सेकंड मिलेंगे। नेक्स्ट वन, 9 गीगाहर्ट्ज। 9 gigahertz, how many centimeters? Give me in 2 decimal places, huh? Dash, decimal, dash, dash.
0.33.
0.33. 3.34.
0.03
राउंड अप करेगा, डाउन करेगा? 5 के नीचे है ना?
0.03
3. राउंड डाउन मतलब वहीं पे रहने का। राउंड अप में एक बढ़ाते हैं, राउंड डाउन में हम लोग डाउन नहीं करते, हो वहीं पे रहते हैं। ओके, 3.33 सेंटीमीटर्स। फराद,
Got it. 3.33 centimeters.
आकाश,
यस, 3.33 सेंटीमीटर्स।
गुड। मृदुस्मिता,
0.033.
नो, रोहन नीचे किताब में देख. No. Harsh.
0.33.
No. क्या किया आपने बताओ मेरे को. What did you guys do? 3 into 10 to the power of 8. Okay. And divided by what?
9 into 10 to the power 9.
Huh?
9 into 10 to the power 9.
9 into 10 to the power of 9, right? Okay. Khushi, Anushka, what is your answer?
Sir, 3.50. Yes, sir.
आ गया ना. चलो.
Yes,
तो
sir.
मृदुल में तो और हर्ष को नहीं समझ आया. देखो 3 into 10 to the power of 8. Rohan, have a look. I'm explaining the third one. Divided by 9 multiplied by 10 की power of 9. Okay. So what happens? This cuts. So you have 3 divided by 90 or 1 divided by 30. Works? No issues. 1/3 कितना होता है? अगर if I have to write 1/3, 1/3 as a fraction, how can I write? I can write it as 0.33. Everyone agrees on this? अच्छा, अगर 1/30 हो गया तो 0.0333333 एक जीरो एक्स्ट्रा आ जाएगा. यही होता है ना. It's simple math. So answer was in what? Meter. It was what? Meters by second and by second. So meter was the unit, right? So this is the answer in meters. What will I do? I will take this here. I will take this here. So why? Because I want the answer in centimeters, no? So I will take it 2 decimals. Century, 100. 3.33 centimeters. Okay. Easy. Now what if I tell you you don't need to do this much calculation? There is a trick. The trick is like this. Write down the trick. Frequency in megahertz is equal to 300 divided by lambda in meters. Also, you can turn it the other way around. आप इसको उल्टा भी कर सकते हो. You can turn it the other way around. यही फॉर्मूला में लैम्डा ऊपर चले जाएगा, फ्रीक्वेंसी वाला नीचे आ जाएगा. Okay, you can also write lambda in meters is equal to 300 divided by frequency in megahertz. Very simple. Okay, so now in the exam they can give you frequency and ask you to find wavelength. They can give you wavelength and then they can ask you to find frequency. Both can happen. It is the same thing only. It is the same thing only. Now in this extra I have only written units. If you can keep the unit in your head, this formula becomes very simple. 300 by f is lambda and 300 by lambda is L. But you have to remember the frequencies in your head. That is it. The units in your head. That is it. It is this simple of a formula. So I'm going to give you a task. These are all wavelengths. Find out the frequency. You have a calculator with you. Okay? Find it out. एक यूनिट कन्वर्जन becomes a big thing. ठीक है? गीगाबाइट को किलोबाइट, किलोबाइट को मेगाबाइट, मेगाबाइट को गीगाबाइट, ये सब में all of this will now come. You just know how to do the conversion and everything is good. Okay? And also do this. Acha, these same frequencies. Then you take these same frequencies and you use the trick, okay? And give me the answer. You want me to teach you one sum before this? I'll teach you one sum, okay? I'll teach you one sum. See, have a look at 3.2 centimeters. We have 3.2 centimeters. What does the formula tell us? The formula tells us we want frequency. So 300 divided by whatever the thing is, I want it in meters, right? I want it in meters. So I do some rough calculation. 3.2 centimeter, na? 1, 2. So this will be 0.032, correct? In meters. I want to write it in meters. That is my aim. As per the formula, the whatever data I am putting in should be in meters. One second, guys.
Sir,
One second, one second. What is this? This is 14 भाई साइन 60 कितना होता है? √3/2 होता है ना?
हाँ भैया √3/2 होता है.
Now you're going south. 9 degrees south. हाँ बताओ. So now you put this inside your calculator. What answer did you get? Very good. You should be getting 9375, but the answer is in megahertz. So if you want to convert it into gigahertz, it will be taking away three zeros from you. So 9.375 gigahertz. Okay. This is 9.375 gigahertz. Everyone understood this? Anyone who did not understand this, please raise your hand.
साइन 60 कहाँ से आया?
हैं?
साइन 60 कहाँ
अरे
से?
ये मेरा न्यूमेरिकल है, इसको हटा, ये सब छोड़ दो. साइन 60 वाइन 60 छोड़ दिया. मेरा मैं एक न्यूमेरिकल सॉल्व कर रहा था. समझ आया हर्ष? नहीं समझ आया? बताओ कैसे किया मैंने.
हाँ समझ आया.
कैसे किया बताओ.
300 को 0.032 से डिवाइड कर दिया.
0.032 कैसे आया?
0.0
मैंने 3.2 सेंटीमीटर बोला था ना.
सेंटीमीटर्स को मीटर्स में कन्वर्ट किया ना.
क्या किया मैंने?
सेंटीमीटर्स को मीटर्स में कन्वर्ट किया.
तुम्हें ईयरफोन सही से कर एक बार प्लीज.
सेंटीमीटर्स को मीटर्स में कन्वर्ट किया ना.
ठीक है, वेरी गुड. सेंटीमीटर को मैंने मीटर में कन्वर्ट किया, फिर मैंने सीधा डिवाइड कर दिया, फॉर्मूला के अंदर डाल दिया. आई गॉट 9375 क्या? मेगाहर्ट्ज. आंसर विल बी मेगाहर्ट्ज. सो आई विल नाउ कन्वर्ट इट इनटू गीगाहर्ट्ज. कैसे कन्वर्ट किया गीगाहर्ट्ज में?
मल्टीप्लाइड बाय 1000.
डिवाइड बाय
1000.
चलो अब नेक्स्ट दो करके बताओ मेरे को आंसर्स फटाफट. किसी को कोई डाउट है अभी तक इससे पहले? टिल नाउ एनी डाउट्स? ठीक है. टुमारो यू विल हैव अ टेस्ट ऑन चैप्टर 1. टुमारो और डे आफ्टर. ठीक है
यहाँ पे स्पीड को तो स्पीड ऑफ लाइट ही पकड़ेंगे ना
जी. बट यहाँ पे आप वो फॉर्मूला से करो ही मत ना, मैंने जब आपको दे रखा है ट्रिक. 1 to 1.95. वन टू 1.5 नहीं आ रहा.
सेकंड का 1 to 1.95.
ओके.
Yes, sir. 1 to 1.95.
ठीक है.
और थर्ड का 0.25.
0.25 क्या?
किलोहर्ट्ज. एक 1 मिनट वेट.
Who all got 1 to 1.95? फरहाद, हर्ष. नहीं आया, हर्ष का नहीं आया.
कौन से वाले का भैया?
सेकंड वाला 1 to 1.95.
हाँ मेरा आ गया.
हर्ष आपका आया? चलो वेरी गुड. खुशी, अनुष्का, बोथ ऑफ यू गॉट इट ना? ओके गुड. नाउ टेल मी सेकंड नेक्स्ट वाले का 250 किलोहर्ट्ज आया सबका? मृदुस्मिता, आपका आंसर आया है किसमें? मेगाहर्ट्ज में. उसको किलोहर्ट्ज में कन्वर्ट करो, आ जाएगा.
ओके.
यू आर गेटिंग स्टक इन द यूनिट कन्वर्जन. आपका 0.250 आया है, दैट इज इन मेगाहर्ट्ज ना, बट आई हैव आस्क्ड यू द आंसर इन किलोहर्ट्ज. ओके. सो मेगाबाइट किलोबाइट का सिस्टम है. मेगाबाइट ज्यादा बड़ा होता है ना, मेगाबाइट ज्यादा बड़ा होता है। हेलो, रेडियो नेविगेशन भाई खत्म हो जाएगी 10 मिनट में, फिर उठा लियो श्रीराम को। श्रीराम क्लास एट 1:30। Nice, huh? Starting since morning 9:30 till enjoying it.
Again, after that, I have to do the homework for departure. Like since last night, I'm straight away sitting for classes almost till like 7:30, and then we had radio now, and then RT again. Now radio now, and again evening general now.
That is why I was saying don't do tech. Okay, who all got 250 kilohertz? Raise your hands ASAP. फटाफट. Third one 250. खुशी, अनुष्का, श्रीराम, फराद, हर्ष, निरुस्मिता. आ गया, खुशी का भी आ गया.
2.5 into 10 to the power minus 4.
कहा क्या 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 क्या?
2.5 into 10 to the power minus 4 kilohertz.
ना,
Fine.
मेरी जान, आपने डिवाइड किया 1000 से. ओए फराद, मेगाहर्ट्ज से किलोहर्ट्ज में जाएगा तो डिवाइड करेगा 1000 से या मल्टीप्लाई करेगा 1000 से?
मेगाहर्ट्ज से किलोहर्ट्ज में जाएंगे तो डिवाइडेड बाय 1000.
नहीं, मेगा बड़ा है, किलो बड़ा है.
Oh, sorry.
करो 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 फटाफट, डू इट.
0.25.
हर्ष, थर्ड वाले का आंसर
आ गया 250.
आया. 250 आया. सो लुक एट दिस.
मैं उसको मीटर हर्ट्ज समझ रहा था.
मैं समझ गया, मैं वो समझ गया. आई अंडरस्टूड वहाँ कहाँ गलती है. सो व्हेनेवर यू आर गोइंग इन दिस डायरेक्शन यू डिवाइड, whenever you are going in this direction you multiply. Whenever you are going to the smaller units you multiply, whenever you are going to the bigger units you divide. Okay, that is all for today. आज बहुत बेसिक क्लास थी. कल से you will be more of
मैं वो लास्ट वाला नहीं होगा इसलिए फिर से
करो, बताओ. ट्राई किया. what steps did you do?
I did nothing. मैं बाहर से
फॉर्मूला पे डाला आपने? क्या डाला फॉर्मूला में?
9 divided by 1.2 kilometers.
आए
9 क्या था ना?
I can't hear you buddy. ईयरफोन सामने ला दिया, उसको ऐसे सीधा कर.
क्या अभी?
Can anyone hear Harsh clearly? No, right? Harsh, just just set your microphone a little bit if you can.
क्या हुआ? आ रहा बस.
आ रहा है 250 आया?
ना नहीं, एक मिनट.
अच्छा, who all need a break for general nav? कितना बड़ा ब्रेक चाहिए? How big of a break do you want?
Maybe starting by 2 o'clock.
Everyone wants 2 o'clock? Akash, Anushka, Farad, Harsh.
नहीं भैया, मेरे को फिर शाम को बहुत काम है.
Aditya, you're on speaker with the class. Okay, everyone is requesting for 2 o'clock. Works? Sriram has actually been studying with us since 9:30 morning.
Oh, crazy.
Okay?
Covered. We can try it, no issues.
Everyone, class at 2, revised timings for general nav.
ना मेरा नहीं हो पाएगा.
Okay.
Alright.
यार हर्ष, पता है तेरी आवाज क्लियर नहीं आ रही, मैं क्या बोलूं?
Sir, excuse me, sir.
Ankit, you can get rid of the recording now.